Yeah, big day. Here we go. Get some things in line here. Yeah, man, it's like kind of hard to focus enough to play the guitar, right? Because everything's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's like such a bit of a long time coming, right? Yeah, hope everybody's enjoying the tune, Free Range Chicken, and bit of a weird feeling. I thought I'd just be able to sit down and just start playing the guitar, but like I can't even concentrate because there's so much stuff flying around it. Yeah. You know, I don't even really know where to start or where to hang today. It's like the tune is kind of fun because you know, it's got my childhood hero, Brent Mason. He's really monumental in my playing because it was really his solo on the Nashville Cats Pick It Apart record that made me want to play electric guitar. I was kind of dead set on being a mandolin player my whole life, and I heard that and I was like, wow, it really just changed my trajectory in a lot of ways. And it led me to the Eric Johnsons and the Steve Morses and all those guys that kind of helped me form my sound, right? Oh, you need to see the tapping lick? Yeah. Fun thing about the tapping lick, that was a joke. That wasn't meant to be on the recording. That was in a demo solo. A lot of times I'll just come down here and knock out demo solos to be like placeholders. And Ben was like, dude, that's for sure going to be in there. So, yeah, it's in the key of A, that solo. So it's coming out of Brent's solo, which is the, got my green Crocs on today. Brent's solo's out of F sharp. So that's the tapping solo. It's built out of those like wide pentatonic things. Basically, it's like taking the pentatonic stuff that you see, those kind of things. Taking all that kind of foolishness and putting it stretched out. It becomes easier when you put the fret wraps and stuff. I was looking to see if I had one laying nearby. I don't. But yeah, when I track it, sometimes I might use a fret wrap. But live, I've got to use too many open strings to play the head of tune. So turn some gain down just a little bit. Yeah, kind of help that. A little bit better right there. Okay, so let's do the tapping section. It's around A. So it's that kind of thing. So if you take A, minor third, 4, 5, 7, 1. So let's take that much of it. And now I'm going to change that pattern. So the middle section is this box. it's that box right there, and I'm playing starting on the 5. So I'll have 5, 7, 1, minor 3, and then 4, minor 3, 1, 7. Gonna slide it up again. 7, 1, minor 3, 4. Now we're going to drop it down and play 5, 4, minor 3, 1. So we're switching this 4, 5. Back down. And I think on the record I did not bend it like that. Like that. But live, I've been bending it just to give it some sass, right? One more time. Let's get it. Right there. There it is. Maybe we hear it context. Makes it make it make more sense, right? So coming out of Brent's solo. And I'll usually change the phrasing. I'll usually change the phrasing of that last line. That could be like, or it could be all, that kind of thing too. I actually don't remember which one I used on the record, but basically it's like A minor pentatonic. Like A bluesy. Probably something close to that. But you can kind of hear how it's phrased. It's kind of slippery over the, and with a cloth or a fretboard wrap, it's even easier. I wish I had a fretboard wrap laying around. I don't think I have one on any of my guitars right now. I don't know. I lose those things so often, but like, you know, if you're going to track something that's tippy-tappy like that, you can use a cloth like this, and I always just tie it around it to where it mutes it out. Something like that. Yeah. It makes it so much easier to do those tabs. It's so much easier to like do those crazy tabs. Makes it way easier to do all those things, right? Super helpful to kind of navigate crazy tappy stuff like that. But again, like when I play the tune, I've got so many open strings in the tune that I kind of just have to be able to play it without it, and that just kind of has to be the thing. You know, it just kind of is. Sacred City, NYC's in the house. Hope you're doing well. No, I did not get a chance to get anything from Alex Van Halen's auction. I didn't get in there and do that. I don't have disposable income like that. I would have loved to have something, but I don't know, man. Ed gave us so much with all that music. I feel like I've got everything in the world. I feel like I've got all the things that was that were special to him. You know, not to sound too cheesy, but like music was the most important thing to him, and we've got it all. So I feel it's kind of a beautiful thing. I do own a copy of 1984 that was signed by Ed, and that's a pretty special thing. It's on the studio wall around here somewhere. Yeah, it's back behind me. I don't know if you can see it back there. It's just out of frame above the Marshall and the Bogner. But yeah, we had a fun time making it. Yeah, it was really fun. Hey, Randy Heston's in the house. Yeah. How does the drop dead legs? How does the drop dead legs? How is the chord progression? I don't remember. I think you gotta be in drop D to play it. I think you do. Hang on just a second, guys. Somebody's knocking on my door. I hate to pause the stream, but I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. Some guy was just trying to sell me roofing and tiles, which is unfortunate to be landing right here in the middle of a stream. But whatever. We'll do the drop dead legs thing another week. How's that? Yeah, that way I can have a guitar that's tuned properly and I can actually do some little bit of homework on it, make sure I've got it right. Andy, could you share with us on how you do the tapping for the song of Elfin Man? The sound's incredible, and the tapping is insane. Just a light on the way would be grateful. I haven't listened to that or played it live in a very long time, but I think it was, let's just look that up real quick. Elfin Man. Andy. There it is. Let's look this up. I'm going to turn the stream down just a little bit so I can hear it. Oh yeah, this one. Oh. Let's do that one more time. I think I remember it. Really sloppy on it, but that's the idea. Oh yeah, how did I do that? Yeah, that's it. That's what I had. I think it was that for the first one. Yeah, that's right. I think that's, I can't remember the second one. Hang on. Yeah, that one's in there too. Again, it's probably easier with this thing on to mute out those open strings. Yeah. That's how I did it right there. So the E7 is first. Yeah. Yeah, here's the E7. I think F is next, I think. Yeah, there's a G in there. So you could do it long ways, but it's easier for me to go like that. So let's just learn the first shapes. And then if you learn the first shapes, you can figure out the rest based on the chord tones. This is a really old song. I can't believe we're working on this the day a brand new song came out, but here we are. So E7 is like that. So 1, 3, 5. And then 3, 5, 7. And then 1. There you go. That's how you do the... I need to go back and learn it. I think there is actually a Jam Track Central lesson on that whole album, like a whole like masterclass on Jam Track Central, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna look that up real quick. I think there is. Let's do Jam Track Central. Andy Wood. Let's see what comes up. Let's see what comes up in here. There's got to be the masterclass. Yeah. So, yeah, here it is. I think it has all of it. I think this has all of it on here, which is, let's go back, which is this link right here. I was just a youngster when I made this. A lot less gray in the beard. Here you go. Boom. That link should have it. Yeah. So Dennis, did that help you? Did that help you? I'm looking for it. Andy, could you share with us the tapping for this song of Elephant Man? The sound is incredible. The tapping's insane. Yeah. Not to distract, but your solo on She Stayed Anyways was also great. Thank you for the... Oh, man. Yeah, that was... She Stayed Anyway was just improvised in the moment. We actually had to have those songs charted just a couple of hours before we played that live. None of us knew those songs or even heard them. Jed says, love the video. So many fun things in there. Yeah, us all just like, so here's the fun thing. Let's talk about free range chicken. Let's not get off topic here. I rarely mime anything. And when I say rarely, I normally would say I never. However, free range chicken was us in a garage with no amplifiers. It's obviously a music video and it's obviously mimed. So now I do have to say I rarely mime anything. But you guys know I do these streams. These streams are live. So it's really played. Whatever I'm doing is real, good or bad. But with it being a music video, we had to mime stuff. So instead of trying to like overtly hide the fact and camouflage it that it's miming, because there's so many people that mime on their channels and it's like dumb to me. I don't know, like whatever makes somebody happy. Like if you want to play, like, God, there's people in the rock industry that are miming their solos live. And I'm just like, why would you do that? It's just play it. But we wanted to double down on the fact we were miming. So we're like, what if we don't even have our instruments in our hands at one point? What if we are playing the wrong instruments at another point? So we just kind of did it that way and made it made it real stupid, kind of lighthearted and stupid and fun, and just not meant to take itself too seriously. The record actually is pretty dark. The record's a pretty moody, dark record, and I didn't want it to be so self-absorbed that it didn't have any personality of my silliness, my lightheartedness, and I thought it would be fun to have the first song be the thing that is the most in common with Junktown. A bit of like holding your hand coming into this new record and this new kind of phase of the stuff that I've got coming out. So that's really where this originated from, was just be fun and lighthearted. So yeah. And Brent made it so special. Like, I originally had me just chicken picking through that solo, and it was so much better that Brent agreed. Like, I just said, hey man, you interested in being a part of this? So he was happy to do it. And it's been really amazing, for him to be such a kind mentor, maybe is the right word. Him and Timmons and Petrucci. I messaged Petrucci today and just told him thank you for everything. I sent him a text message and was like, man, thanks for, being a childhood hero now to someone who has been a mentor and helped me, right? Just helped me in this industry. This industry's crazy. And Brent and John have both been so amazing. Okay, so yeah, Alan says that's why I like Steve. His posts are off his phone. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And then Brent on the creeper is pretty great if you're a car guy. Dennis, I see that you're saying just seeing how it was played. Yeah, it's 3 notes per string on that tapping thing. And then this is a pivot note. I use a lot of that kind of thing, that style of tapping. It's in Master Gracie's banner as well. We're outlining full chord progressions, right? That's the Master Gracie tap. That's like E flat. B flat. F. G minor. That's the Master Gracie kind of thing, but a lot of that overlaps. Master Gracie is in the same vein as a Elfin Man. Elfin Man's really shreddy. Like, going back and listening to it in retrospective, I'm like, wow, that's a shredder of a tune. Yes, Steven Center tomorrow night, Raleigh. Yeah, we're playing in Raleigh tomorrow night. So if you're in North Carolina in the Raleigh area, come out and hang with us. We will celebrate. We will fellowship. Notes will be played. Beers will be drank. Stories will be told. It'll be a great, great time. So, and then Wilmington on Thursday. Nashville, Tennessee on Sunday. Jim Dover says Jim Riley got some shred on in the video as well. Yeah. Fishbowl says tough industry indeed. It's about ready to spit me out, I think. I think that's an interesting perspective, Fish. Chat, it's so much of the music industry is about perseverance and tenacity and sheer willpower. So I don't think there's ever a reason financially to get into the music industry. It's definitely not what you do. You don't get in there to make it rich. You just get into it because you love it and you just see it through, whatever that means. I think Chuck and Chuck has been a big blessing to the team. And I think, he's a very intellectual. If he was a superhero, he would have the high intellect stats, it'd be like the Professor X type of thing. Like he can reverse engineer things and look at things from a very analytical standpoint. And I really struggle with that. I have a lot more of that Wolverine personality or that Iron Man personality, which is ready, fire, aim. Like that's how I like to play the guitar. That's how I like to do things, is ready, fire, aim. And it's a lot more of instinct with me. I think that helps me with being creative and improvising, being a very instinctual personality. But Chuck, where I'm going with this and tying it to the industry is, it's good to find people, my other business partners, Randy, find people that can fill in gaps in your personality and help you look at things through a different optic. And I think I'm seeing that today with Free Range Chicken. This is my first time releasing a song with Chuck as part of the team. And Randy, obviously, Randy and I have done every record together. But this is also our first time with Bob Frank Entertainment, BFE and Orchard and those distribution companies and stuff. And a publicist. This is the first time with all of those things in place. And now I'm seeing a lot more of the 4D chess movements. And Fish, when you said the industry's about ready to spit you out, I look at it this way. You never get rid of problems in this industry, and maybe in every industry. But what happens is the problems change. Used to be the problems were, I don't have enough money to record the record. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have enough time to make the record. Now I have enough time because I've got my studio at my house and all this gear. I don't have to go anywhere. I can make my record at home, which is what I did with this, but now the problems change. So it's not just like taking the song, putting it in a bottle and throwing it out into the internet or the ocean, because now there's all this white noise. The internet has changed. When I first released my first record, it was easy to cut through the mix because the landscape wasn't oversaturated. Now the landscape, there's a guitar player every flip of your finger on Instagram playing great stuff, selling great content, and doing great things. So now what do you do? What do you do? And the reality is you just keep fighting through and keep your statement at the forefront. I think it's interesting, in an era where everybody's playing 7 strings, 8 strings, a lot of brutal music, everybody's going heavy. When I was in my early 20s, I was in a band called Down From Up, and it was a lot more of the heavy kind of thing that, was with, we were on tour with Seven Dust and Drowning Pool and those kind of bands. And it was all about being heavy and drop tuning. And we had songs in C, it was like, I realized that my statement's not that. And so, is Free Range Chicken what is hot right now? Is that the genre of music that's hot? I don't think so. I think if I released a neo soul attempt or a funk thing, an attempt at Mark Letary music or an attempt at Corey Wong isms or an attempt at Tosin Abasi things or an attempt at that, could I have achieved it with enough work? I think so, because I'm a hard worker and I'll dig into the music to be accurate when I go to play things. But that's not honest. If I would have released a 7-string rock metal thing, that's not an honest representation of who I am. So to me, authenticity is the number one thing that I think should be at the core of anybody in the business. It should be at the core of your business statement. You should be able to be in 1 or 2 riffs, be like, this is what I am. Like if somebody was like, I don't know what you are, Andy, I don't know what Andy Wood music is. What is that? I would immediately go. And I'm confident that's a sound that is me. I would also maybe, if somebody said, well, what's the other side of your music? Let's see, what would be like that's the other side of what I do, right? So to me, if I'm able to just tell someone what I'm about, both musically and verbally, in the least amount of space possible, where somebody can just see something, be like, yeah, this guy's about this thing. This is what he looks like. He wears jean jackets, plays flat instruments, wears cowboy hats on stage. That's my thing, And I think as long as you keep your thing, whatever that is, at the core, then you're doing a better job than a lot. A lot of folks are trying to keep up with the Joneses, and when a Corey Wong comes out, Corey wasn't chasing what was popular. Corey was chasing Corey things, right? Billy Strings wasn't chasing what was popular. He was just chasing Billy Strings things. I think that's the most important thing with this industry that you can do, is just kind of keep it honest to yourself. And I think from that point, you figure out what the album is. Now you figure out, what does the album artwork look like? Now you figure out what your press release photos look like. You figure out what kind of artists you want to play, what kind of venues you want to play. And for me, it was like, yeah, rock clubs are great, rock and roll metal stuff, but that's not really the thing for me. It's like, I want to play for people that want to listen to music on a listening level. Like I think about people going to see Steve Vai or Eric Johnson, the Dixie Dregs. Like, those are the kind of venues I want to play. Yeah, for sure. And like, the ultimate model for me is like Carlos Santana or Jeff Beck. Carlos Santana is really amazing, right? Like, he gets a lot of flack from technically proficient guitar players. Anybody that has a high level of technical proficiency kind of likes to poop on Carlos Santana. And I don't get it, because Carlos sounds like nobody. He sounds like Carlos Santana, like he created a thing. He also was never limited by what he wanted to do or where he wanted to play with, who he wanted to play with or where he wanted to play. You can see him headline Caesar's Palace, and he's an instrumental guitar guy that doesn't sing. Jeff Beck, right? Jeff Beck was never limited by anything. A Jeff Beck album doesn't mean one thing. The genres that he jumped through and the lanes that he wove in and out of, it never meant that if you bought one, you wouldn't know what was next. You'd already have it. It was like really fundamentally diverse, and like, it was just about the joy and the journey of music. And like, he played, the Blaze of Glory guitar parts for Bon Jovi, right? But he also like played Nessun Dorma, right? The Italian opera. And then he played a song like Hammerhead or Somewhere Over the Rainbow, it's just the span, the reach of it was really broad, and it never meant one thing. And that's really important to me. That's really, really important, is just to be like, I like guitar. Do you like guitar music? Sometimes it's loud and heavy, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's soft. Sometimes it's moody. Sometimes it's fast. All those things are sprinkled throughout to me. And that's the stuff that really, to me, is the model. Like, this is how you do it. There is no one way, because Santana doesn't sound like Jeff Beck, doesn't sound like Steve Vai, doesn't sound like Brent Mason, whatever. There's no one way to do it. But the one thing that they all had in common was authenticity and not putting limits on what it meant to play their genre. That's the thing. Because if somebody said, oh yeah, there's this Latin guitar player that plays Latin rock, and he's going to do a song with the lead singer of Nickelback, everybody in the industry that thinks they know, right, will be like, that's never going to work. But like, it totally works. Or like, this pop singer for Matchbox 20 is going to do this song with this Latin guitar player from the 60s. Industry is probably like, what? It's like the powers that be kind of pooping on it or whatever, but like, it comes out and it's the biggest thing ever, right? Like that record that had Smooth on it was bonkers huge. So I don't know. I surely don't know how to do it. I just know that I've got a great team around me for this release, and I couldn't do what I'm doing now without them. There's no way possible. And that's the way I approach it with musicians and production. Could I mix my own record? Yeah. Would it sound as good as if Jimmy T did it? No. Let people that do what they do really well, give them enough opportunity to surprise you and let them do what they do. Like, I think over direction and over control can be a hindrance. Can it be amazing? Yeah. I mean, like, Michael Jackson's a great example of like over control working flawlessly. But I'm not Michael Jackson, you know? So I'm got to be what I am and let those that can do things do what they do and not try to stifle it. Like, try to encourage that creativity, you know? So let's hit some questions over here in the chat. We got Reelin' and Rocket. Andy, is Brent going to be playing some of his 90 Country stuff in Nashville this weekend? We're going to do a couple of his tunes, and it'll be awesome. So you'll be happy. That's what I'll say. Sacred City says, remember in the 90s when all the hair metal bands went grunge, Anthrax, Van Halen took Alice in Chains out with them. Faith No More had their new grunge sound. Yeah, Van Halen never did. Van Halen never was grunge. Like, they were still making slick records. Like, Balance is a slick record. Van Halen always stayed like Van Halen. Like, whatever Ed thought was cool is what they did. And I got to back that, you know. Just like I think banjos are cool. And my goal is with Free Range Chicken, for people that hate banjo or think it's hillbilly music or like goofy, for them to hear Matt Menefee's banjo parts and be like, what the crap is that? Because it's bonkers good. So yeah. Adam says, saw Satch and Vi on their last tour. So epic. Vi just killed it. Best I saw him play. Amazing. Peter is saying Santana is a guitar god, and when he's at his best, he electrifies the air. I couldn't agree more. And Santana's a great example of letting people have the creativity to do what they do. He has these huge rhythm sections and these huge bands, and he works with these guest artists, and he never tries to get them to fit into his thing. He just joins his thing with whatever they do, and it's really amazing. Alan says, when I think Andy, I think bluegrass, shred, metal, fiddle, country, chicken gristle. I don't even know what that means, but I like it. Yeah, to me, it's just like, just make the music you like and let it be a thing, you know? Just let it be a thing. Paramedic Pete says, Bumblefoot shared your video on Facebook. How cool is that? Ron is a great guy. Like, Bumblefoot is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's unbelievably humble. And with that humility comes a level of absolute freak show dominance over the instrument. I love playing music with Ron. And if he and I ever get the opportunity to make something together, I think it would be really fun. Ron is just the best. I've worked with him several years in a row with Shiprocked, and I just think he is incredible. Like, person, hot sauce maker, guitar player, kazooist. It's like the guy is just, whatever he wants to do, he does. And it's really, I know what I'm about to say. I hate it when people say it to me, but it seems like it's so easy for him. And it's just like, it's really inspiring to be in a room with him. And it's fun because he's just good at everything. It's like, he's just really great across the board. Alan says Bela Fleck and Victor Wooten is not goofy. Absolutely not. Bela Fleck is one of my earliest of influences. And so many things are kind of ripped from Bela's playbook. Let me just show you a couple. So, like, 4-note string cross-picking is something that you guys know maybe from, like the Steve Morse thing, right? interpreted that and took that from Bela when he would have things that would move across. Yeah. You know, kind of that thing. Right? But those kind of things really were kind of cool to me that Bela would do. You know, hearing banjo parts kind of have that flutter and that like that airiness. And of course they could be like grassy. That's kind of like down, up, down, middle. There's like a total Belaism. And so like when I play too many notes sitting down, I can alternate pick it, but when I stand up and the guitar is knotted at the same spot, I ended up using that same technique for that part. So it's like down, up, down, middle. And it ends up helping me like navigate that stuff. Taylor, thanks for the 10 spot. Appreciate that so much, man. Hit that like button on that. Thanks. Gain for live, I'll walk you through my gain. I have a handful of patches. Here's just clean, right? So clean would have like maybe some chorus in it, right? Could be kind of a thing. A bit of echo in there. That kind of thing would be nice, right? Maybe without the chorus, it'd be like a... And then the first stage of gain is the Andy Timmons AT mod. And the next level of gain is the Pantheon. That's the Pantheon. And then the next level of, that's the Pantheon combined with the Woodshed compressor. The next one is the gearbox by itself. Last level of gain is the Andy Timmons AT mod, but I want to make clear that this is a bit of a pedal of a day kind of thing. I just have one extra spot in my presets, and I just change out these. So this is like the shreddiest thing I got. There. Totally that thing, right? Totally like super over the top, whereas the gearbox is more refined. Yeah, the gearbox is like the most refined of the three, the four dirt pedals, right? So I kind of mix it up. Okay. Bumblefoot should come to Woodshed. Yeah, I think he would be great. The stairway, right? Kind of funny thing. I think the Fish is saying divorced from any kind of artistry for so long. That's the thing. That's the thing, man. That's the hardest part, is things inspired upon your passions and why you do it in the first place. What makes you want to get the guitar out in the first place. Is Charisma not available to buy yet? It is not. It's not available yet. You cannot have it yet. What you can do is you can have the link for the pre-order. So if you'll look at the video, Chuck, if you don't mind, would you put the pre-order link in the chat, please? So yeah. Is that a Bella capture? No, this is actually just that thing. SL68 into the aux. That's what's happening. Yeah, the gearbox is a staple for sure. It's the main thing. Reeling and rock and rolling says I need to go play some Van Halen. I like Van Halen. You can play all the Van Halen. Thanks. So Chuck here has put the pre-order right there. If you guys want to pre-order the record, that's where you can grab it, which is really exciting. And I'm really stoked about this record. I hope you guys love it. I mean, it's really just, it's a dedication to my dad and my granddad, and it's a thank you to you guys. So it's really like a love letter to all the folks that inspire me and you know, those two dudes that really made my life what it is. So obviously there's a lot of inspiration from them and from like the Patreon community that I've got, which is amazing. So yeah, thanks for the kind words about the tone. Yeah, it's like smooth, but you know, it's not a mush. You know, that's the thing, is like smooth with articulation is kind of what that's what I'm always after. It's like smooth tone with articulation. I like that. I do like the more rowdy tones, but that's really more of an amp gain kind of thing, where I would use like the diesel or the EVH or something like that. What link do we use for the vinyl? That link has not been manufactured yet, Jed. So yeah, it'd be happening soon. That's a me and Chuck thing. Are you still using both the sides of the gear? Yeah, as of right now, what you're hearing is both sides of the gearbox together. But it's, you know, oftentimes I'll just use one side too. Like that's just the left side of the gearbox. Kind of a sexy sound. Really, that's a really great sound, you know. I like it. Really nice for the yeah, I was kind of fooling with that the other day. Got some good chord changes to solo over. Really cool tune, man. It's really fun to kind of play through and noodle with. Are you still got that one? Let's wrap up here. I'm gonna get back to work on the promo. Maybe I just need to rewind the live stream and try to keep up with what you played a couple of times. That's so sad. Still have the most of the mids dying out of the gearbox. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it sounds the best. Freaking 9 o'clock. Yeah, thanks, Carson. Man, I appreciate you, brethren. It's like really getting all the algorithms. If anybody wants to help me today, maybe this will be one of the few times that I straight up just ask you guys for a favor. And if you watch this on the stream, and it's like we're live right now, but like if you watch it and we're not live, I'm just gonna ask you guys straight out, man. Would you make a playlist on YouTube? Just a couple of videos, and make sure that the free range chicken video's in there. and let it play. Just let that playlist play in the background. It really helped me a lot to get views up and get it in front of people, because, unfortunately we live in a phase of the internet, phase of social medias, where if you put something out and you have, 100,000 followers, you're only hitting like 6,000 of those people, unless everybody's sharing it, which is kind of lame, because if you think about it, it's like if 100,000 people are following you, it's like, man, wouldn't it be great if like they all saw it at least once without somebody else having to reshare it? So I guess my favor is, would you just maybe make a playlist and have Free Range Chicken playing in the background, so other folks can have the opportunity to see it, drive up some of those algorithms. Thanks for the reminder, Carson. Yeah, looking forward to getting all this stuff out. Yeah, thanks for being a part of the evolution, Carson. Like, it's fun for you guys that have been on the Patreon and have seen it kind of happen from 0 to 1,000, like for the full fruition of it all. And it's cool that now one of the songs is out and will be more's coming at you. So tomorrow I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then on Thursday we'll be in Wilmington, and then Skankbanger this weekend. Skankbanger is going to be in Saturday. And then I'll be Nashville Sunday with Brent for the A. Wood and Friends show over at the Cannery. So, yeah, let's team up and beat the algorithm and see if we can get this tune out. It'll be kind of fun. It'll be kind of fun to see what it does. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's lighthearted. I like cars, and cars are in the video. So it's just kind of the things that I like. I hope other people like it too, I appreciate you guys as always. Little housekeeping, if you're interested in coming to the show, any of the shows, tickets are on social medias and all the places that you expect. Cannery is where I'm playing in Nashville. The Bow is where I'm playing in Wilmington and Raleigh. Luniverse is where I'm playing Saturday with Skankbanger. Now, Woodshed is coming up in September, which is exciting, and I hope to see you guys there. If you're looking to get into that, that's woodshedguitarexperience.com. AndyWoodmusic.com is where I'll be posting transcriptions. I think maybe even Chuck and I might even this week put the tablature bundle up on my website. So maybe we can get that up there this week. Tour dates, all the things, AndyWoodmusic.com. And if you enjoy what we do and you want to be part of the journey, that's really the only way I can word it, really. If you want to be part of the journey, patreon.com/AndyWoodmusic. All those guys have seen the 0 starting point demo version, basic, most core demos of the record into full fruition. So if you want to be part of that journey, that is patreon.com/AndyWoodmusic. Thank you guys. I'm excited to see what the end of the day has for us in store. I would love to have bonkers numbers on this and see what we can do. So, I appreciate you guys as always, and be blessed. We'll see you this week on the road.